in Paris. So my 3 tips, you can see, are almost the same. Okay? Get involved, get involved, get involved. You are not alone. You might feel a little bit lonely and maybe a little bit homesick too, but you are not alone. We are 12 PTA executive members, all the people you see with this like white tags, ready here to have a coffee with you, to help in every way we can. We have over 26 grade representatives, so every grade at school, from early learners to grade 12, has at least one grade representative. So if you don't know who your grade representative is, come up to us and we can tell you who to contact. Every class, or every grade, let's say, has their WhatsApp group to communicate amongst parents. You can ask anything you need. No question is too small. We're all ready to answer anything we can, and people are incredibly helpful. Everybody tries to help each other out with information. We were all new. Me 4 years ago, Lisa 3 years ago, Jen a few more years ago, 11 years ago. But we have all been new and we know what it is. We know how it feels and we try to help. We also have at school over 20 cultural ambassadors that can speak in your language, that come from your home country. I myself, I am the Spanish ambassador together with Monica, who's in the orange, right there. And we have built a WhatsApp group where we have over like 50 people, 50 parents who speak Spanish and Portuguese. So we adore the Brazilians and the Portuguese too, so we have made. But there's also a Korean community, there's a Japanese community, French community. Of course, the Indian community, yes, one of the biggest at school. Yeah. Dutch community. So please reach out, also ask us. We have this information available. Sometimes it's easier to make questions to somebody from where you come from or in your own language, even though we all try to speak English. And French. Yeah. So this is Paris at a glance. I think since I'm in Paris, is the place I've seen the map most times ever. Isn't it true that you see the Parisian map everywhere? So Paris is made like this, so we're mostly up here. I would say that more than 80% of families from our school live near the school. Not everybody, but we live here. So we live in the 16th, 17th, 8th. Some live in the 15th, in the 7th. I live all the way far here, in the 4th. But please, I mean, Paris is a fantastic city. It has so many things to offer. I know, like, it's made of these neighborhoods, arrondissements. So there are 20 arrondissements in Paris. And it goes a little bit like a snail. So it starts from 1 here, you know, and then it goes like 2, 3, 4, there, 5, 6, 7, 8. It goes a little bit like that, like a snail. And the 20 is somewhere up here. So there is what they call the rive droite and rive gauche. And it's like left banks and right banks. So people define themselves where they live a little bit, depending on whether they live on the right bank or the left bank. So this will be the right, and this is the left. So it's how the river goes like this way, okay? And this is the right, and this is the left banks. So please, even though every neighborhood is like a little Paris itself, so it has its own town hall and a lot of services, go out, explore. There will be plenty, there will be the vendors afterwards, and there are plenty of tours you can take. Touring with other parents is a great idea, it's a great way to make new friends, also to discover other places in the city, not by yourself, not alone. So you will be with somebody and you will see really fantastic places. We will have tours this year in English and in French. Okay, this is a little bit, I mean, my experience here. Okay, when you tell people, I'm coming to Paris, I bet to be generous, you can give them a tip. So tipping is welcome, or a gift. And try to make them your friend.
Sorry, yes. The Christmas for our first, we're in our second year now, so our last Christmas is our first Christmas here, and we asked about the tip for guardians, because you don't want to not give enough, compared to other people in your building. What would you recommend? Because we were told quite a large sum of money. So, we don't live it.
Oh, well, I don't know what to say if you've only lived a couple of months, maybe with a whole year. I've always heard in our neighbourhood that it's about 10% of a month's rent. Does that sound like, maybe it's more, I don't think everybody does that, but
That would be, you have a 4,000 month rent, that would be 400 euros. That's what you're doing. That's what you're, it's a lot. I think anything between 100, I mean at least 100. Exactly, and maybe a bottle of wine, some chocolates. Just some tea. But truly, they don't have a large salary at all. I mean, I know my guardian is also my cleaner, and they don't have a big, sometimes they earn quite little. Because they have the housing, they have free housing in the building. Yep.
One other thing you can do, my concierge has 2 granddaughters. I've been living in Paris for 31 years, and all the hand-me-downs from my daughter go to my concierge, and she appreciates that a lot more than money.
That's a great idea, Cynthia. I do that too. So all my kids' clothes, because they have grandchildren or children themselves, they appreciate if you could ask, or you're giving away something that is very new or pretty new, you can ask them if they would like to take it. Oh, sorry, I went back. Okay, recycle and make friends, especially your guardian again. So the guardian is also in charge of making sure recycling is done correctly. So don't throw things in the wrong bin. It will make her really angry. And she will tell you she's angry. So Paris is a pretty green city. Sometimes not super clean, but very green. And we have, your bins at home. So you have the the yellow one for everything, like plastics and things and paper. And then the other one for the rest, glass is separate. Glass is separate. Like for example, in my building we don't have a glass, I don't know, but we have to take it somewhere, yeah.
We have one at home, it's a white lid.
Yeah.
Okay.
White lid for glass.
Okay, mine will have to go to the street and throw it somewhere. Yeah. Make friends, here's the boulanger. Smile to him, probably you will buy a lot of bread, so be nice. Asking for things, be polite. There's many activities you can do, for example, with your children. We have quite a few English bookstores that also have activities for children. They might have reading sessions during the weekends and during the holidays. So please check out. I know the red wheelbarrow, will they be here after? Okay, they are sponsoring the event, but I think they might be here. And I know they have a lot of bilingual books, which are very good also for the children.
The library is free, and you can have a card, and so they organize many activities for children as well.
So we have public libraries today. So there's a very famous one also, Shakespeare & Co. I don't know if you heard about it. It's really nice. It's in the 5th, very famous. Everybody wants a book with a stamp from Shakespeare & Co. I think it was in some movies, right? Yeah. And of course, sorry, I didn't say there's the American, this little one, but there's the American Library. So I think in the past we used to have a discount if you were an ISP parent. It's in the 7th, so it's across the river, the 15th. Well, 7th. So it's not far. And if you say you're an ISP parent, I don't know if they make you show a badge or anything for the kids, but you can ask for a discount for the membership. Some proof that you belong to the school. You know. Our library? Okay. So ask for coupons.
I did it yesterday and I just showed them an email. I got the membership from the American Library yesterday.
Perfect.
We did the discounted price, so it was €90 for a child. I've got 2 children, so it was €200 for the year with the ISP discount, so it's worth doing. I've got the leaflet in my bag, and I want to look at the activities. I've got the leaflet today.
Perfect.
And I just showed them an email from ISP and proof of
So
address.
that's a very nice place. I mean, they do a lot of activities, and also a Halloween parade. Yes. Yes, for Thanksgiving, they might do other Christmas. Okay, pets, your ambassador. Unfortunately, I have 2 cats that don't help at all. But pets, and Rula and Jane will be talking a little bit more about that, really, really make friends. I mean, I read about this and I don't know if it's a true fact. I have to check my facts, but there were over 700,000 dogs in Paris. That means 1 dog for every 3 people. I was like, wow. So a lot of people have dogs. Dogs are considered like family here, which is very nice. So you can take them around almost everywhere. They're very welcome. And in the apartments, for example, they cannot forbid you to rent an apartment if you have dogs or animals. They might not like it, but there's a law by which they have to accept them. Okay, fun stuff. Next for pickpockets.
I just arrived and checked the rules in the park very well, because in my first weekend here I got a fine because I walk my dog in Parc Monceau, and I discovered that in Parc Monceau dogs are authorized, but only in the 2 big alley and not in the side alley. So if you go in the side alley with your dog, you get a fine, and I have to pay 35 euros. And the gendarme told me dogs are déconseillés in Paris, and I was like,
So like animals, but no, they are very welcome, but it's true that you have to respect the rules really well. I know the rules, like remember when we were doing sports, and one dog did their little things in the green area, and the police came immediately, and that person was fined. So please read, they do have Roger and Rula know everything. You can talk later about where to take the dogs. There are some dog-specific areas, and there's where you meet also a lot of people, because people hang out, and they end up knowing each other. So pickpockets, yes, it happens. Paris is a big city. I'm from Madrid. We also have pickpockets there. It's not exclusive to Paris, but be very careful, especially in the big stations. When you are changing, like Roosevelt, they aim for tourists. And even if I've been here or we have been here for a longer time, they think we're tourists still. So for them, everybody is approachable, so be very careful with your bags. And tell your children to be a little bit careful with their backpacks, their phones especially, so not take them out all the time and just put it back in an open bag. Common sense. I would say common sense things. Okay, scams, also we have scams. Hammond is the person who cleans the chimneys. So there used to be an old scam. It's never happened to me actually, and I do have a chimney. But people calling you, like your door and at your home, saying they wanted to do a Ramoner service. And they would charge for that. So for foreigners, of course, we don't know. Somebody calls and says it's mandatory, it's the law that we have to do this chimney thing. Well, that's not true. Okay, so if this happens, just don't open to them, don't give anybody money.
Rebecca, it was also another scam going round that my guardian told us about. So there is people knocking at your door saying that they need to go and check your electricity meter. So they enter your house, they check what do you have in your house, and then they start like monitoring you, and then when you leave the house, they enter in and they steal your stuff. So if someone wants to come to your house, make sure that they show like their badge, something like
identification,
NG or something is normally one of the things.
And if you have the doubt, don't let them in. Don't let them in.
This is where the relationship with the guardian comes in again, because usually when there's any kind of routine coming to check electric meters or anything like that, a sign will go up in the lobby of the building. But yes, I wouldn't let somebody in who was. I would check with the guardian as well. I mean, that's another way to be sure.
And be careful also when you're with the how do you say, ATMs, the cash distributors too. There's always the possibility of doing it inside the bank office. So try not to do it outside on the street. Some people might be watching you. My mother almost got robbed when we moved here doing that. So it's very easy that one boy or one younger kid comes on one side, distracts the person, so try not to do it on the outside ATMs. Normally they're outside the bank, but you can always do it inside the bank. So try to do it inside the bank. It's a bit more safe. Yeah? I don't want to scare anybody with this, but okay, so this is a reason why Paris is the #1 world destination. So there's loads of museums and famous landmarks. And as I said before, I would recommend that after in the lunchtime, you check out all the tours that are being offered. It's really, Dr. Kelly is like an institution for our school. She's our English-speaking guide. Her tours are really, really amazing. So take advantage of that and join one of the tours. Okay, and then I'm going to pass over to Rula. So we will have time for questions after.
Hello, my name is Rula Khalifa. As Rebecca mentioned, it's our 5th year at ISP. I have museums. I want to let you know, I took some notes, I did my homework. Museums are free for EU residents and students under the age of 26. So if your kids go to, and I'm sure all our kids in this room are less than 26 years of age, they show their ID at the museums and they can go in for free. If you're an EU resident, you show your ID, less than 26 years of age, you get in for free. And also we've talked about the neighborhoods. Yes, we all come to France wanting to eat the baguette and the escargot and the cheese, but there are wonderful ethnic neighborhoods that I encourage you to explore. The Indian neighborhood, the Chinese neighborhood, the Japanese street, where you can find amazing food, great supermarkets, where you can buy ingredients that you might need for your cooking. Alright, so identity and membership cards. Carte de séjour. Your prefecture, I don't know if you've been to the police prefecture or you'll be going to the police prefecture. You might see me there. I'm a constant. So your relocation company or your immigration lawyer will be helping you with your residency here, especially if you're non-EU. Always keep an eye on expiration date of your titre de séjour. Although your lawyer is handling it, keep an eye on expiration. Try to renew 4 months at least prior to expiration, so you're always in good standing. Children, minors, do not get a carte de séjour or titre de séjour. What they get is a document de circulation pour enfants mineurs. So it's just really a document, a card. It looks different than our carte de séjour that allows the kids to leave France and come back while they're in good standing. I should tell you that I have, and your documents, you can never have enough paperwork in France. Any document is useful. I have a carry-on suitcase that if you see me at the prefecture, feel free to wave. It has everything from the day I was born to my electricity bill last month. I do not part with my bag, I take it everywhere. Because when you think you're ready, they want another document that you have at home. Take everything with you for every meeting, and hopefully it'll be just one meeting. The carte vitale is your health insurance. Now, I honestly don't know who qualifies and who doesn't. It depends on your type of the carte de séjour. There are many different types of carte de séjours. It depends on whether you're paying taxes in France or not. So this is something you should address with your relocation company, your HR, or your immigration lawyer. Of course, you can look it up online as well. But there's always the fine print as to who qualifies and who doesn't. The carte famille nombreuse. So this is a card for families of who have 3 kids, and all 3 kids are less than 18 years of age. You get discount on transportation and on other partners of the SNCF. There are also different types of cards, not different types, but the carte famille nombreuse. Let's say one of your kids is now over 18, there's a subcategory where you would still qualify for some discounts if you want to renew it. And one of your kids has graduated childhood. The international student card is very useful because this is the proof that you have a student It's worldwide recognized, so if you get it for your kid and they end up going to museums or other places, they could benefit from this international card. Let me see my sign right here. It's for kids over 12 years of age. And let me tell you, having a teenager who was in Paris when at school, it comes in very handy because at night when they go out, if there's a checkpoint or the gendarme stops a group of kids going out, you show it as an ID card and it's recognized. I would discourage, and I don't know if someone might disagree, for them to carry their carte de séjour or their carte de circulation, because if it gets lost, I'll see you at the prefecture. Navigo is, I'm sure you've all seen the little metro tickets. We buy them in packets of 10 or individual. With time, the city of Paris is phasing those tickets out, and there's now a Navigo Easy. There are many different types of Navigos. Student Navigo, yearly, monthly. I live close to the school, so I choose to get the Navigo Easy. It has replaced the packet of 10 tickets. It's very nice because you tap it, you walk through the station, and it's very easy to refill. You do it on your phone. RATP is the app. You swipe it with Apple Pay or your credit card. You buy your tickets 10 at a time. Kids under 4 travel for free on the Chicago. Sorry, I used to live in Chicago. They travel free on the metro in Paris. The carnet of 10 for kids between age 4 and 9, if you buy it in bulk, it's half off. So it's worth to buy either the Navigo Easy or the carnet of 10. It's a reduced.
I'm a real user because you saw I live on the other side of town of the Navigos. So actually the city of Paris gives your money back for the Navigo. So if the student has like a Navigo Imagine R, you can apply for 100% reimbursement. Okay? It was a new law that came, I think, a year or two ago, and a lot of families are doing that. So for me, for example, the Imagine R is 350 euros per year. You can pay it monthly, but it covers all transportations for the kids, and they can rent their bikes and things using the same Navigo.
For children under 2.
Yep.
Sorry, so for children that are in the school years, you can apply for the junior one, and then you only pay 24 euros for the whole year. And you do everything online. You only need a piece of identity for the kid that you just upload. So it's one of the very few things that you can do online in Paris, so we make the most of it. So you just upload a piece of identity, and then they will ask you which school they go to. There's a drop-down menu, you choose ISP. Make sure that even if they're in the primary, you don't choose Ranelagh, you have to choose Beethoven campus. And then you pay 24 euros, and your children can travel for the whole year in the metro and the bus and everything.
Age limit. What age?
It is up to 16 years as far as I'm concerned. 14, 12? 11.
And which site, website, what would you?
Yeah, it's the same, the navigo.fr.
It's called Imagine R.
So another mode of transportation, if there's a strike, or if you wish to see the city differently, is the Vélib, which they are the bike rental systems. There's the scooters as well, Lime, Tier Dot. Just my advice is let your kids make sure they lock the bikes after they stop using them. Because if they don't actively lock the bike, it will keep on charging. And you will see interesting charges on your credit card statements. Because so just make sure they make a conscious effort to lock it. And then Le Bus Direct is for transfers between the airport and the city of Paris. I'll just add this, that G7 is the taxi app as well. It's very convenient. It's an app you download. You can order your cab ahead of time. You can choose pet friendly, because sometimes cabs don't like having dogs because they shed, and then they have business people traveling in dark suits and the hair gets on them. So make sure you choose pet friendly. You can book it in advance, pay on the app, super easy. I use that all the time. It's called G7. G7. Yeah.
Actually, in addition to that, I also have an English-speaking cousin.
Okay. If you want to order a cab on over the phone. The Navigo, one of them looks like this. Mine looks differently. I have the Navigo Easy, but this is what it looks like. So Paris museums, there are different types of memberships. Some that cover one particular museum, another that covers a bundle. So just explore things online, and it's worth it, because beautiful expositions that happen. And
I have almost all these cards, and I have used them so much in the past years, especially, for example, the Ami du Louvre. It gives you can go through a special door, so you never have to make lines. Or even if people are coming from abroad, you can print like a ticket for them, and they can come through with you. So there's like a priority access to all the museums. And the other one, of course, the Musée d'Orsay is beauty. You can get this carte blanche, and it gives you also the access to the orangerie. And with the cards, you can see also all the temporary or private exhibitions. Yeah.
some shopping, of course, there's always this. Rebecca put this up for me. There's Lafayette, of course. There's Printemps. There's BHV. But also, I love the mom and pop shops in the neighborhoods as well. It's a great way to encourage small shops. You find unique things there. And also do get their preferred membership. It's unlike in the States where it's a credit card. Here it just gives you little perks where they do alterations for free, or maybe free delivery. You accumulate points. You get this vente privée, which was a new concept for me. Vente privée is the pre-sale, and they only extend it to people who are already clients. So once I went in and they said, I wanted to buy a boot, and they said, oh, you're not in the system, you won't get 50% off for your daughter. I said, can I buy socks, leave, come back, and buy the boots for half off? They said no. So I used a relative's ex-husband account, and I got my discount. So wherever you go, whatever you buy, become a client, because then you get pre-sale advantages before other people can go in and shop. My best friend is Picard. I don't know if you've been to Picard or have heard of Picard. It's a supermarket of only frozen goods, almost only. They sell some chips and some drinks, but mostly it's frozen food. Best friend to make school lunches if you're not part of the school lunch program. If you have teenagers who are always hungry, you can stock up on pizzas and snacks in the freezer, great ice cream. Believe it or not, this is what I heard 5 years ago and still proves true. Their frozen chocolate croissants are to die for. You buy them in a bag, put them in the oven for 10 minutes, and it saves you a trip to the boulangerie on a rainy day. So there are many neighborhood Picards. There are bigger ones, smaller ones, but you can almost find everything. And the quality is really good. The quality is really good. French cuisine. The marchés, I actually yesterday, every arrondissement has marchés. It's the farmer's market, our equivalent of a farmer's market. You buy fruits, vegetables, cheese, meat, fish. Every arrondissement, every neighborhood has markets on certain dates. So you go to paris.fr and you can look at les marchés, drop down, put your arrondissement, and it will show you exactly on which day there are which markets. When I first moved here, someone said, oh, with time you'll have a favorite boulangerie, you'll have the favorite baguette. I'm like, this cannot be true. I love every baguette. But of course, everything is yummy. No, with time you become a baguette snob, and then you have your favorite vendor at the marché, your favorite boulangerie, your favorite meat place. So yes, this is true. It comes with time. And then you make sure you hit those markets. Even to buy sometimes gorgeous tablecloth or table napkins with French embroidery, lavender pouches from Provence, all this you can find at the markets. Le Cordon Bleu is in the 15th if you wish to take cooking classes, wine classes to become maybe a sommelier. Do explore it. Our very own Francesca is a mom, a dear friend who I met when I moved here. She's a Cordon Bleu pastry chef. I take cooking classes with her. And no offense to any Italians, I make a better tiramisu than many Italians because I took a course with Francesca. And it's wonderful. So you pick, the cooking classes happen in her kitchen. You make friends, you have a glass of champagne, cook what you've baked or eat what you've cooked or baked, and it's wonderful. The European Heritage Days, which is coming up this weekend, is when a lot of monuments, government offices, certain embassies are open to the public, whereas throughout the year they are closed. The lines start quite early, so if you have so some places you can book online, so if you're interested in seeing, I believe, was it the American or British embassy used to be the house of Napoleon's sister, so if you want a sneak peek into those beautiful, beautiful, gorgeous places, this is the weekend to do it. Useful apps. The Fork is to book most restaurants. You can use the Fork, it's an app. You can book your restaurants on that. Very easy. Deliveroo and Uber Eats for restaurants or takeaway places. Again, it's an app. Your credit card is saved. Stocard. When I first moved here, I told you about the membership cards from Lafayette and Picard and Monoprix. You can store all of those Nespresso. You can store them all on your app. So when you go, you just go in the app, you scan your loyalty card. So you don't have to carry the cards with you all the time. AP3 for local stores and groceries. Pay by phone is amazing if you park your car because you can renew your parking on the phone. You don't have to leave your meeting or lunch to go to the street and renew your parking. Le Bon Coin is for second-hand shopping. So if you wish to sell, like let's say you've shipped too many things with you, you don't need them, they don't fit in, or you outgrew whatever, you can sell your second-hand things there, or you can buy. And the trainline.com is to book your trains if you decide to venture out. So G7, as I told you, this is the cab app, very easy. Like for example, I booked my cab Monday morning to drive my daughter to the train station because she goes on sleepaway camp with the school next week. ClassPass, I've used it in the States. It's a great place to book classes. If you want to take a Pilates class here, a yoga class there, you can do that. WeCars and Get Around. Yeah, sorry. Yes, this all will be shared, so just enjoy. Yes, and if I might be going too fast, let me know. WeCars and Get Around, so it's an amazing thing if you want to rent a car in your neighborhood. It's an app you download, and then it could be your neighbor next door who doesn't need their car for the day, and it's up for rent, so you rent it for the day. Insurance is included. Do read the fine print to make sure you have the right insurance and who's driving it, and you return it to the neighborhood. So it could be your neighbor down the street, it could be anyone in your vicinity. I personally haven't used it, but it says it's for transport. And one thing about the G7, the fare to the airports is a preset price. Okay, so no matter if the trip to the Gaulle or it takes an hour or 2 or 45 minutes, it's a fixed price set by the city of Paris, which is really good. And whether you take a van or a small sedan, there might be a slight surcharge for a van, but it's between, I believe, 53 and 60 euros depending on the time of day. 312 is for all beauty-related appointments if you'd like to book your mani-pedi hair. Car again. Monoprix, they deliver. So if you don't have a car, don't worry. You can do 2 ways. You can do Monoprix online, or you can go to the store, make an order. What's so great is if there's a line for delivery for the house, am I covering your, no. I'm like, am I covering your chair? I love to share what I know. So again, Monoprix, you can go to the store, you can fill up your cart. If you don't have time to wait for them to deliver, with the loyalty number you have, they give you a printout, you leave it in your cart by the delivery at the cashier, and you go home and you pay at home. And you can decide on the time frame when you want your stuff delivered. So if you're going to be out all day on a tour with Dr. Kelly, you can schedule it 6 to 8 p.m. They will bring it to your house with a credit card machine, you pay, and all done. Or you can pay at the store. Same with Casino, Carrefour, Bergamot for flowers if you have, you want to buy yourself or others flowers. And yes, there is a Costco in Paris. There are actually 2 now. A new one opened up. It's not very close to the city. It's about a 40-minute drive, but if you want Costco, you can rent a car, or if you have your car, drive to Costco. Thanksgiving is around the corner. If you want the turkey, Costco stocks up on turkeys. Your local butchery, your local meat market, if you are interested in a turkey, you can order it ahead of time, cooked or uncooked. The Grande Épicerie does the same as well. Learn French? Please, yes? Fabienne is gonna present and make an effort truly, and the French really appreciate when they feel that we make an effort to speak the language, even if we make mistakes.
Sorry, can I just add one more app that I found particularly useful?
Wait, I will pass you the microphone.
An app that I've used that's very useful, City Mapper.
Yes.
That you might want to add to your.
Okay. I have to hurry up, I've been told. So please grab your PTA Handbook. We have plenty copies for you. It's a great guide for living in Paris.
Hi, my name is Jen Hammond. I'm a grade 8 parent. I volunteer with the PTA, and I also serve on the Board of Trustees at the school. I'm from the UK. We've been living in Paris for over 11 years now. It's a permanent home for us. Because of that, we had our choice of really all the schools. We chose ISP when my daughter was in grade 1. She's now in grade 8. So you can tell we're very happy with our choice of school. And I'm just here to talk to you a little bit, not too long, about the handbook. I won't go through it page by page, there's no need. But this is really a labour of love. It's been going certainly 10, maybe 15 years. It began as a kind of, I think, photocopied in the basement by a group of parents. And the idea of it is that all of us returning parents try to give you a head start. We've all been where you've been. So this is kind of an accumulation of all of our knowledge of the city to try and get you started, get you feeling confident very quickly. You'll find a mix of very practical tips, so doctors, supermarkets, activities for kids, butcher's cheat sheets, so that when you're in the butcher you can be able to explain which cut of meat you want. So they're very practical. It's also designed to try and inspire you to feel confident and get out into the city. So therefore we've got things in there like the parks of Paris or day trips from Paris. I'll just pop that down. And so it's kind of designed to get you to feel encouraged to go out and really embrace the city. And I'd say families kind of fall into 2 camps. If you've got primary school children, I think it's in some ways a bit easier to get them out and engaged. When my child was younger, we'd really use the parks of Paris as a starting point for a weekend outing. So you just announce that we're going to the playground in the Jardin de Luxembourg. That sounds fairly acceptable. And then that leads to perhaps going to the Red Wheelbarrow Bookshop, which is just on the edge of the Luxembourg Gardens. It might even turn into a walk around the 6th arrondissement, maybe lunch in the 6th arrondissement, but all we ever announced was the visit to the playground in the Luxembourg. So with the primary kids, I think it's easy, And I think using the parks is a great way to get the whole family into another arrondissement, and really start to get out of this arrondissement, which is a wonderful, there's much to do here in the 16th, but there's a huge city out there, and we really do encourage you to go and explore. Teenagers, I think it's another story, it's difficult. What we do is, I would say, our daughter accompanies us on a quarter of our museum outings. So we return to an exhibition if it was really great, and we take her back. We don't take her to everything, but we do try and get her to go to a quarter of our outings. And you need to use your imagination. There are, a street art tour in Montmartre with other families might be the way to get your teenager to go, and do something like that with you and see another part of Paris. So there's lots of ideas. Shopping, exactly. We're going shopping. Exactly, it's a good one too. And so that's really it. And the idea as well is that this book is a living document. So every year there's a big update. We miss something, we don't get everything right, but we really, really welcome, as you stop becoming newcomers and you start to become established in Paris, maybe you'll be feeding back in tips and comments, new places that we'll be putting in next year's book. So we really welcome that.